I've just gone from 0 to over 500 subscribers in only 10 days on a brand new YouTube channel. I got nearly 900 hours of watch time and over 22,000 views. If you're someone who's struggling with YouTube, or maybe you've got a brand new channel and you want to know the fastest possible way to get there, I did all this directly on YouTube. There was no outside influences driving traffic to my channel, and actually 71% of my views came directly from the YouTube homepage. Very first thing we're going to do is take a deep dive into the analytics just to show you the past 10 days. So let's just get right into it. So I actually uploaded my first 5 videos on the 1st of March 2024. So on day 1, I actually got my very first subscriber. Now, honestly, I know you won't believe me, but my mind was blown that one person had subscribed to me. And it stayed like that for 24 hours. I'd set myself the goal that if I can get to 1,000 subscribers in 2 years, then it's worth me continuing with YouTube. So I really appreciate everybody who did subscribe. Like I say, I did not expect to get 1 subscriber so fast. Never mind what happened next. First thing I wanted to look at, because I think this is the most important thing, my traffic sources. 71% of all my viewers that found my videos came from browse features. Now, browse features is traffic from the home screen and the subscription feed. Obviously, I had 0 subscribers at the start. Now, a lot of people were commenting on the videos saying this appeared on my homepage. 16,000 of my views came from the homepage. My channel in total had over 22,000 views. 19,000 of those came from my long form videos, and they got around 330,000 impressions. After that, 11% came from the shorts feed. I did post a lot of shorts in the first 10 days, but obviously I didn't get a lot of views on them, but I do think that helped to train the algorithm. I got about 3,500 views, only 7 subscribers, 172 likes, but it was shown to around 9,000 people. Now, I also used the posts feature, which gave me 3 subscribers, and then channel pages, 8%, suggested videos, 3%. About 178 people found me through search. Now, my first video, my main video, my 13 years of YouTube failure, that was the video that I wanted to try and crack the algorithm. My other videos I thought would be more search based. This is another place that I believe YouTube trains the algorithm, because if you look at all these things here, they've got absolutely nothing to do with my channel, and they've all got 1 view, and obviously nobody's watched it apart from like here, self-improvement, 15 minutes, and anyone who's clicked that based on how long the watch time was, like here, editing videos for YouTube. Right from the beginning, as an empty channel, you can see how YouTube's kind of tested the audience pools and really seen like who wants to watch this video, who doesn't want to watch this video. Whoever was searching for Avril Lavigne hot, 1 viewer, they found my video and they watched it for 46 seconds. All I can do is apologise. I'm very sorry that you discovered my channel. I'm someone who's been on YouTube for over 13 years. I've had multiple channels. Some have been minor successes, some have been total failures, and I've always gave up too soon. So I knew coming into this right from the very start, I'd have to do a lot of planning from the beginning. So I came up with these 5 core areas I really wanted to understand before I even posted my first video. And they are, what topics will my channel cover? This is my niche in the broadest sense and in the most narrowest sense of the niche. Who will be my audience? Who's going to be watching my videos? The good thing is with my niche, it's the thing I'm interested in. It's what I spend my time doing when I'm not on camera, is I'm really interested in YouTube. Even when I didn't have a YouTube channel, this is what I spent my time doing. I know it's something I can focus on. I know what I like to watch. So I like to think I know what maybe you would like to watch if you're here and you're watching this video. Number 3 is understanding the other channels within the niche, the competition. I don't like to think of it as competition, but you need to see who's the top channel. What kind of percentage could I hope to get? Don't expect to get to the top, but what would I be happy with? Is it reasonable that there's room for me within this niche? And also the smallest channels. What are the smallest channels in this niche currently, and how well are they doing for views on certain topics? Are the channels with less than 100 subscribers that sometimes are getting 10,000 views, 100,000 views? If that's the case, it's a good niche to be in. Number 4 is, can I think of over 100 ideas, write them all down on a piece of paper, just the titles, didn't go too far into it, but could have come up with 100 ideas, so I knew that actually this is something I could talk about endlessly without getting stuck for ideas, which does happen sometimes when you start a channel. Brings me on to number 5. Could I think of like playlist ideas or different groups within those ideas where I'm like, well, there's 20 ideas for that group, there's 20 ideas for that group, and I did and that's when I started. Just to clarify why I did this and why it's important you should do this. If you're a new channel or you're struggling a little bit on YouTube, sometimes it's good just to take a step back. Look at these 5 core areas. Can you come up with the ideas? What's your channel about? Who else is making videos in this niche? Can you expand on those ideas? Can you make a series of videos that allows you to stay in your niche but also branch out within that niche so you don't get pigeonholed into a corner? I said pigeonholed. So the first problem I encountered, and I know you probably have this same issue, a lot of people have left comments on my videos saying, Ross, I'd really like to do this, but I feel like, how can I compete with other people? How can I possibly come into this space? So for me, I was like, well, who's going to listen to me with 0 subscribers? So I knew right from the start, I'm not going to make videos like how to do the best thumbnail, how to edit videos, because it's like when I've just started and I'm just getting back into the creative process, I knew my videos weren't going to necessarily be top scratch, and that's fine, they still aren't. So I was like, well, what can I do? It's about my story on YouTube. Now, my story on YouTube is I started 13 years ago. I had a little bit of success, and then I failed because I left. And then I started another channel, which I left, which then went viral, is what I would call it. But I'd gave up. Now I've come back with everything I've learned. I was like, that's something that's unique to me, that I can give my experience that hopefully you can learn from and take shortcuts by not making the same mistakes I do. I also knew coming into this niche, there's quite a lot of copy and pasting between YouTubers that happens. I'm not criticizing that. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I thought, well, what can I do that nobody else can really copy? I was like, I'm unique in the sense that I've had 13 years experience, failures. That's my topic that I'm going to start with. So the way I envisioned my channel was, you know, your parents or your grandparents, they might give you life advice sometimes and you think, well, why are they giving me that advice? And you don't always have to follow it, but usually it's because your parents or your family, they might be older and they've made mistakes and they think, oh, I don't want my children to make those mistakes. Here's a shortcut in life. Don't have to listen all the time. I watch a lot of YouTubers. I like to learn, but it doesn't mean I take every single piece of advice, because what works for me might not work for you, just as what works for someone else might not work for me. So the next step was, I knew I didn't want to start with an empty channel. This is just something I think, if you're starting a new channel, if you make one video and that video goes viral, you don't want to have just no other videos and then a month before you post your next video. So I thought, what I'm going to do is have at least 5 long form videos. My first video was going to be like my hero content, as YouTube would call it, but the one that I put a large amount of effort into planning. And then my other videos were ones that I could do off the top of my head, required less effort, but they weren't bad videos. They were just videos that weren't as time consuming as the first video, so that allowed me to have 5 videos. I also debated shorts. A lot of people scare stories on shorts. Shorts is something I had 0 experience with in my past YouTube channels, but I was like, something I wanted to try. I thought, I've got nothing to lose because I've got no other content on there anyway. So I started off by posting 2 shorts a day during them 10 days, and I started off with 5 long form videos, and I also filmed another couple of videos which I uploaded during that time. My other main theory behind this, and this is something you need to think about, is by me having those videos on there, it straight away taught YouTube what my channel was about. So it's about YouTube. So I had 5 videos, they were all about YouTube, and my shorts were also about YouTube. So if anyone's seen them, YouTube straight away learning very quickly. People who like YouTube like these videos. With having those videos right from the start, it really helped to train the YouTube algorithm what my content was about. And obviously, if you're already making videos and you feel like you're not getting the right views and stuff, this is something you need to consider. And it's why people talk about niching down. It's actually really helping YouTube to understand who your audience is. Now, there is an argument that if you're a new YouTuber, you don't need to niche down, because sometimes it's better to explore and practice making videos, and also then you might discover, actually, I don't want to talk about this, I decide I want to do this, and that's fine. You don't want to start off doing something and then it gets successful and then you actually hate doing that thing you do. So that's why it's good to have that exploration phase in the beginning. But if you're ready to move on, that's when you do need to niche down. Now, I knew my first video, 13 years of YouTube failure, it's not a searchable topic. I knew nobody's going to be searching 13 years of YouTube failure, which is why I wanted to target the algorithm. I know that sounds crazy. How do you target the algorithm? No one knows how the algorithm works. But basically, if your video title, thumbnail, the content of the video matches what it's all about. When YouTube pushes it out to different people, eventually it finds the right people, and then in that group of people it pushes it out to more people it thinks will like it, and those people find that videos, and I believe that's how I ended up on the homepage. Now this is just something personal to me, because I know in my past YouTube, the thing that can really cripple you as a YouTuber, we all understand that quality does better on YouTube. There's less competition for high quality videos. But what you don't want to get into the situation of, especially for me, I was like, I'm just starting again. If I only make like one video a month that I put loads of effort into, if that video fails for your mental health, that is not a good place to be. So I see this with a lot of YouTubers who only make one video or two videos a month. If you find success with that, but then you have a bad period of a couple of months, it's not sustainable in the long time. So this brings us on to the next part, which is quality versus quantity. What do I mean by that? I think if you're a new YouTuber, the most important thing is quantity, and that's where I was. I was like, even though I've had experience in the past, this is a new channel. Doesn't matter how much experience you've got, if you've not done it for a while, doing things like setting up your lights, learning how to record again, videos, editing. You also learn how to improve speaking on camera and all these other things. So quantity definitely helps. Now we also know that quality does better on YouTube. There's less competition for higher quality videos, but high quality, we're not talking about what camera you've got, what sound you've got. We're not talking about if it's 1080p versus 4K. Quality being what the video is actually about, who you're trying to reach, the research you do before the video, the research you've done into your audience, who is this video for, who's it trying to target. That kind of stuff makes the quality of the video. Now, a problem I've faced in the past, I'm sure other people face this. In fact, I know they do because I see this on other YouTube channels. If you only aim for high quality videos, if you're an independent creator, so there's only you on your own, it's impossible to really make a high quality video more than once a month or twice a month at a push. Now, I would argue that that's not enough really to enjoy being a YouTube creator. Sometimes you want to be able to come on and say, do you know what, I've got this idea to make a video. It's something I can talk about off the top of my head. If you've put yourself in a corner and say, I can only make videos that are this high quality, otherwise people are going to hate me, I'm going to lose all my subscribers, I'm going to get no views, it's really going to affect your mental health as a creator. You need to be able to say, do you know what? If I want to make a video, that's what I'm going to do. I broke it down into 3 areas. Now, YouTube has terminology, which is hero, hub, and help. I personally don't like them words. Now, I decided to rebrand these to my channel to fast, standard, and quality. I know those words don't sound as good, but fast videos are things that I could make very quickly. Could be like, just turn my camera on, make that video. If it's a long form video, I know the subject off the top of my head, I can talk to the camera and do that. It's going to take minimal editing. Or YouTube shorts, a minute long video, can I do 20 of those in one sitting? And that's something I can edit in the future, and they are fast videos. Now, standard, that doesn't mean low quality, that doesn't mean, oh, it's just basic. Standard is like, what is your channel right through the middle? This is the videos that are my standard videos. I can make 3 of these a week, 2 of these a week, 1 of them a week, whatever it might be. That's your standard videos that you've planned out, all your ideas. The next one is your quality videos. They're the videos that are like super high quality in terms of research, planning, filming, those kinds of things. They might take you a longer time over the month. They're your quality videos. But what you don't want to do is just have fast videos. What you don't want to do is just have high quality videos. What you don't want to do is just have your standard videos. You want to be able to do all of those. I'm not talking about spamming for me personally, but I think this will help other people, is if you can get to the position where you're like, I'm aiming to make at least 1 super high quality video a month, but for my own mental health, I also have to hit the kind of consistent video making process so that you don't lose touch, and you also want to have the fast videos just so you can experiment. That's just what I've learned in the past. It's like, it is really something, I know not a lot of people don't talk about it, but when you are a YouTuber, and it happened to me a little bit when this video started taking off with views, I was like, oh, now the other videos I've filmed, I don't feel like they're good enough. Kind of stopped me making videos for a little bit, and it's something you just got to let go of. You also have to consider things like, not every video is going to target the algorithm. On my previous channel, I made a video that after about 6 months suddenly took off It had been discovered in search and YouTube decided to show my video to people who are searching for this topic. So it's something to be considerate about, and they might not blow up right now, but maybe in a year's time, or if you've got hundreds of videos in the long term, those videos are going to bring in you views steadily over time. Does that make sense? I think it does. I want to talk about, because I really did my research when I started this channel, I looked at like who are the highest quality channels within my niche. Obviously I've been looking and exploring and learning about YouTube for years. If you make really high quality videos and that's all you post, if you start making money and you quit your job and you're like, now I'm bringing in a bit of money, it only takes one bad video in that month or two bad videos. If something goes wrong or one of those videos doesn't take off, you're really going to set yourself up for failure. When you jump up in subscribers like that, you've got an audience that people would absolutely kill for, and those viewers want to hear from you. They don't always necessarily need you to take a whole month to make a video. Sometimes they just want to know, I wonder what that person thinks about this. You've got the ideas. You don't always need to make high quality videos. You can still make high quality videos without really spending all or a whole month doing that. So then I have to look at, well, who are the top channels? And straight away, I think of people like vidIQ and Think Media. Now, I watch these channels all the time. And that's because not only do they post videos nearly every day, they do make high quality videos. You only have to look through their channels to see the ones that are like, these are the ones that are like their tentpole. Tentpole, that's what they call it, isn't it? Tentpole videos, where it's like, these are the bangers that they put in the most effort into, the most research and everything else. They're the ones they know are going to be high performing videos. But they also make quick videos where it's like, I'm going to come on and talk about this, make a lot of shorts, that kind of stuff. Think Media makes podcasts, something I absolutely love, because when I'm at work or I'm driving, I can listen to hours and hours and hours of YouTube content. I don't have to watch videos. That's something where I was like, well, they're the biggest channels. That's the reason why. It's because they're not just focusing on high quality videos. All their videos are high quality anyway. I'm just saying they do make a lot of videos that probably take less time to produce than other videos, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you've got an audience, why not keep them engaged in your content? And obviously, because they have such a large audience, I was thinking, well, do you know what? If I could get 10% of that as my whoa, I'd like to get there. These aren't the only channels I watch. Like say, I watch a lot of new YouTubers. I watch a lot of small channels with less than 500 subscribers. It's like you take their advice, but you don't necessarily know that it's going to work for you. It's better to take a bit from everyone and be like, actually, that's working for me. Or maybe you learn better from a certain person, that's fine. Something I experience when I watch YouTube, just to go off on a tangent, is I see a lot of trends in this niche where people say you need to do this to grow your channel. And by the time people are already talking about it, I think, well, that's just not relevant anymore. Things like, I would say, storytelling, where people say you need to do this to hook people in and all the rest of it. And I'm like, watching videos now where everyone's doing that and you get sick of it, and it's like people have already moved on to the next thing, which, you know, the next trend was being authentic and all the rest of it. And by the time this video gets published, something else will have come up. You don't want to be chasing trends. It's good to kind of take a bit of everything and like, what can I do that's going to make me successful in the long term? It's not going to cause burnout, and just get a little bit better every time. As Mr. Beast says, and other people, if you just get 1% better with every video, in 100 videos you'll be 100% better than when you started, and that's it. I just want to say as well, while it's really important to do your research and understand who your audience are, who your competition are, don't get too bogged down in it. Obviously, it's a good experiment to really learn and be mindful of who you're trying to reach. But don't get too focused on what other people are doing, because you're not them. You haven't had the same life experiences as those people. You haven't got the same audience. You're unique. That's why it's called YouTube. But it's not just about you as the creator. It's about the viewer who's watching. And that's something I see a lot of people who've commented on my video, but they're like, I don't understand why nobody's watching my videos. It's because they're considering themselves as a creator. What do they want to do rather than what does the viewer want? And as soon as you switch your mindset to be like, well, why would people want to watch this video? That's when things really change. Something else I want to talk about is just be careful when you're starting out, or when you're a smaller channel, what advice you follow. Someone like Ali Abdul, who's a massive YouTuber, he's done really well in growing his channel, someone I respect a lot. But For me personally, I sometimes watch his videos when he has his ideas about how you should plan your content, what apps you should use and those kinds of things. To me, it's like, if I watched that video and I hadn't started a YouTube channel in the past, I'd be like, I'm never making YouTube videos because using all these different apps and everything else, just not worth it. Honestly, all you need is a pen and a paper and a notepad. Write down your ideas, or like I do as well, use Google Drive, keep it simple. The less things you have in the way of you making content, it's going to make your life a lot easier. So all I'm saying is, you might want to have all these things in place if your channel blows up and you're hiring editors and all the rest of it and you're running a business. Just keep it simple, stupid. In television, in film, they have deadlines. Them deadlines aren't most of the time be able to move. You've got the 6 o'clock news. When 6 o'clock comes, that's when the news goes out, whether you're ready or you're not ready. This is something I've tried to bring into my workflow, where I'm like, for my standard videos, I need to be making this many within a month. I have set myself deadlines. And when those deadlines come, sometimes you've got to say, actually, I'm not going to then spend another week doing it. It's like, this is the only day I've got to film today. Do I spend another week doing this script? Or do I just do it, get it done, move on to the next thing? And honestly, sometimes you just have to say the deadline's here. That doesn't mean you put out rubbish. It just means you really focus and say, this is the deadline. I've set myself this day to film, or I've set myself this amount of time to edit. You use that time. And if it comes to the time you're like, I've got no more time, sometimes you just have to say, as long as it's not total rubbish, press publish and be like, that's the end of that section. I'm now moving on to the next thing, because we don't have unlimited time. Something that's fun to watch is you see these YouTube, I like Doctor Who, and you sometimes see videos posted like 50 mistakes in this episode of Doctor Who. When they make these TV shows, they don't not know these mistakes are in them, but that's because, like anything else, they have deadlines as well. Sometimes you can't just say, I'm going to spend an extra year doing something and trying to edit out all the mistakes and all the problems. It's like, sometimes you just got to go, no, this is the budget I had, whether that's a financial budget, whether that's a time budget. It's good enough. It's not bad. It's still good. There might be a couple of problems, but what can you do? And that's something I faced on my first video, the 13 years of failure on YouTube. I had an issue where the camera was going in and out of focus. I came to edit it and I was like, oh no, what a nightmare. But I knew if I actually was to refilm them 5 videos that I did at the start, I just probably would never have started this channel. I was like, it's better. And actually I kind of thought in the back of my head, well, it's 13 years of YouTube failure. I was still failing. I thought people would forgive me. And there wasn't really anyone who was like, I'm not watching this video. I mean, it might have put some people off, I don't know. But I just thought it's better to get it out there than really spend any more time worrying about that. Because, as I said, I didn't expect anyone to see it. So I thought by the time people found my channel, I'd be 100 videos in and my quality would have gone up. And that would have just been a moment in the past. So sometimes better to just get things done. Get it? Too niche or not too niche? That is the question. The short answer is yes. The long answer is yes. But seriously, there is a trend on YouTube, and it really winds me up, where people are like, oh, don't niche down. You don't need to niche. Don't have a niche. People who have niches, they don't understand YouTube. Excuse me. The problem with this theory is, yes, YouTube does treat videos as individual videos. There's nothing wrong as well if you're at the start of your YouTube journey in exploring ideas. But when you do have a niche, and you only have to go into your own YouTube analytics to understand how people find your videos, each video or your channel, looking at suggested channels, recommended videos that your video features against, how people are finding it in search. If you do niche down and you find your niche, it makes your channel get pushed out, not just in search, it gets pushed to the homepage. YouTube understands what your videos are about, what your channel's about, and people will see who are interested in that niche, your videos. Now, we see this quite a lot. There's a very specific type of video people like to make on YouTube. How much money I made on YouTube in 2024. Now, if you've got a channel that's like a beauty channel or a cooking channel and you want to tell people how much money you make on YouTube, that's fine. I love them videos, but my niche is YouTube. People who make them videos sometimes get hundreds of thousands of views on a channel. Let's say it's a beauty channel that's got 5,000 subscribers. They have a viral video and 10,000 people subscribe because they liked finding out about the money side of things. Then when that creator makes the next video, which is a thing about a beauty blender or something random like that, that their channel, that the thing that they're actually passionate about, that they started the channel for in the first place, YouTube's going to be like, well, all these people subscribe to this channel, but now now. You're no longer watching the videos, and in the long term, that's really, I would say, going to harm your channel. I can't see what good comes from making those types of videos, because let's be honest, we all know video hacks that will get you more views in the short term, but in the long term, I would say it'll really damage your channel. So it's just something to consider. It's like, as long as you focus on the things that you're passionate about and that you want to make the channel about, and just be aware that if you do make a video about something that's off-brand and that goes viral or gets pushed out to thousands of people or millions of people, if that happens, you really are in a corner then, because you've suddenly attracted all these people that aren't necessarily interested in what you're interested in, and that will cause burnout. The next part that I think is really important is avoiding what I would call shortcuts, hacks, those kinds of things, because we all know, yes, things like AI, you can use AI, but if you don't know how to script a video, if you don't know how to make a thumbnail and all these other things, in the long term, you might struggle. I would just say, really try and focus on what makes you unique and your channel, rather than using ChatGPT or any other AI program to write a script that a million other people are using to write the same script, because all that'll happen is that over the years, the videos that'll surface to the top are the ones that are like, whoa, my name's Susan Boyle. You didn't expect that. It wasn't in the script. ChatGPT would never have wrote that. Now this video is going viral. I'm rich. I'm famous. Oh my God. And it's all because I didn't use ChatGPT. Do you know what I'm saying? I think you do. Something else that I consciously chose not to do in that video, or any of the videos I published, was to ask people to subscribe or ask people to like the video, because the only people I actually wanted to subscribe to me and the only people I wanted to like the video were the people who were my core audience. It's quite common knowledge that if you ask people to subscribe and you ask people to like the button, they're more likely to do that. But if those people are just doing it because you've given them a push and they're not actually people who are going to be obsessed with your content, there's just no point in doing it. Yes, it gives you artificial inflation of your numbers. You're like, oh, I've got 1,000 more subscribers than I would have. But if those people in the long term are not your core audience, going back to what we talked about at the beginning, what is the point? Honestly, people do this now. I watch a video, you see the little thing come up with the bell. I would say, don't do it. It's not something I did, and I've got 500 subscribers in 10 days, 20-odd thousand views on a brand new channel, which I never published to before. I didn't ask for any subscribers. I didn't ask anyone to like the video. It got hundreds of likes, so it's just something to consider. So another thing I decided not to do when I started this channel was I'm only going to focus on YouTube. Now on YouTube, you can post long videos, you can post short videos, you can post vertical videos. You can actually use the posts feature to do written articles, quizzes, post pictures, all these things you can do on YouTube that makes it a social media that is direct to the people you want to reach on YouTube. If you make a X/Twitter or a Facebook page or a Reddit, yes, you might be able to grow on there, but it's just another waste of time, where it's like, instead of making videos, you're actually now doing something else, and social media is a whole other platform. If you've got another social media and maybe you've grown it and you get views onto your channel, me personally, it's not a good thing, because if they're not logged into YouTube, they're just a wasted view. YouTube doesn't understand that these people are obsessed with your videos and that they love other videos like your videos. It's not going to be shown to other people who watch their channels and all the rest of it. So I would just say, really focus on YouTube first rather than other social media. Let's say you jumped up to 100,000 subscribers. You might then be like, actually, now's a good time to say, guys, check me out on this and that, and grow your audience over there, so you've got like a backup. But if anyone comments this on my channel, I remove the comment, because people will say, use Google Ads to grow your channel. Do not, under any circumstances, doesn't matter who you are or how much money you've got, ever promote your video either using the promote feature within YouTube or using Google Ads. It will kill your channel permanently. That's just what I'm saying. The only people who should ever use Google Ads, the only people who should ever use the YouTube promote feature are large businesses, people who are promoting a product. Just think in the long term, that's attracting the wrong people. You want the people to find you organically. I've proven that it's possible to do, so why would anyone want to pay to attract maybe the wrong audience to a channel when you can do it organically just by putting the time and effort in to reach the people you want to reach? Now, don't get me wrong, although I did spend months, and you could say years, of planning my YouTube comeback, I didn't actually expect to get 500 subscribers in 10 days. And when I hit 500 subscribers, I was driving in the car and I actually had to pull over. It really hit me. I was like, because I didn't expect it. got quite emotional just because it was a huge deal. It's like, well, I did put all the work in and all the effort in and all the time I spend watching YouTube, and I didn't expect it to work, but it did. So if there's hope for me, there's hope for you. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider watching the next one.